Well, good morning again. And today is the big day. Yeah. Can't put it off any longer. And as I predicted, or as I thought rather, well, same thing I suppose, we are going to use the dark brown, not the black. And I think Mark was suggesting I want to make sure I keep it mixed up. Now, I think Tony was mentioning, and Mark as well, that I should be using the Tamiya X20, which I'm out of, to remove the excess, but I'm out of that, so I don't know what I'm going to do there. I've thought possibly the isopropyl, and I've got a thought going on here. Maybe I'll recompose here later and we'll talk about it, but it's I'm thinking possibly, well, like I said, we'll recompose so you can see better. Anyway, no rollback. I did not come back to the model table yesterday. But all I did was I went out and replenished the bird feeder, but we can show that later. Yeah, it's this is going to be sort of, in a way, it's going to be sort of a new experience. Like I did use this stuff on the bottom of the little lifeboats, or the rowboats and what have you, and it worked pretty good. But on a large area like this is going to be the first time. So it's sort of an experiment, and maybe it's not a good idea to experiment on something that you don't want to mess up. I do think that this is going to work. It is definitely going to make the deck darker. And as I mentioned before, this whole Rodney build is going to be done with a lot of dark colors, and like the 66 that we're going to be using on the sides is fairly dark. It's not a light gray. It's I guess you call it a medium gray. And then there's a lot of dark fixtures that we used the 56 on. That metallic paint that was pretty dark. So there's going to be it's going to be a dark, ominous looking ship, even though maybe in real life it didn't look like that. Okay, let's sort of recompose here and see what we can do. No sunrise today. It's cloudy, and it was pretty misty when I first got up. It's we got broken clouds now, sort of. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm using any excuse, aren't I, to have to not get at this and make a mess. Well, if it's really bad, I do think I can probably get it off, but I don't think it will. I think it's going to go okay. That's my opinion. Or my prediction. I think it's going to go okay. I won't be doing it professionally, but I think that after all the little tiny pieces are plugged in here, and we get a lot of superstructures stuck on top of this yet, it's going to look okay. Let's recompose and see what we can do. Okay, so I seem to have misplaced my other glasses. I'm going to have to push pause here and try and find them. Now, it is my hope that when I zoom in like this, I remember that when I'm working over here, I'm getting out of your field of view, and I want to remember to move it over. But we'll start in this end here. Maybe I'll have it like this, and try and keep an eye on the monitor so I know what's going on. Now, I had started to say something earlier about this brush, and I was thinking instead of a cotton bud, maybe this disposable paintbrush might work well to lightly drag it across the deck. Now, my concern is that I'm going to be removing the panel line color from the cracks in the planking, which is and you don't want that. I mean, that's the whole idea of this, to make the planking stand out. Now, I think it was Tony was mentioning let it dry first a little bit and then remove it later. But then somebody else was suggesting no, you can remove it as you go. Now this thing is kind of big, so it's going to be awkward to use it in a place like this. Whereas something like this is maybe a little better. It will also absorb excess, and we're just going to have to see how it goes here. If it looks like it's going to be a blotchy mess, I'm going to stop, but I think it's going to be all right. Now, I think there is planking in this area right here. I'm going to go try and find my other glasses here. Okay, I found them. I couldn't see them from where I was sitting here. And so I went over to the other side of the model table, and I thought, well, maybe they're behind the spray booth. But then when I looked back, I could see that they were behind the clock. Yeah, small talk, right? Anything to not have to start doing this. Now I know it sounds like I don't want to do this, but I'm actually kind of excited about it, and I'm looking sort of forward to it. However, it's something I've never done before, so I'm, you might say, apprehensive at the same time. You know, it's not like I was doing something weird on the bottom of the hull that nobody's ever going to see. I'm doing this up on the deck where everybody's going to see. So, yeah, that's why I sound like I don't want to do it. Actually, I do want to do it. These are I'm guessing about a 3 diopter or so. They're bordering on a magnification lens. I should be able to see in there nice and clear now. Come on, Ron, get at this. Okay, I can see now that there is no planking in this little area right here. Well, here we go. Now, I do want this area darkened, so maybe we'll just put some in there and let it run around the outside. Here we go. Well, this might work out better than I hoped. It's not looking too blotchy yet, and it's darkening everything. Let me check the monitor. Oh yeah, you can see that. Maybe if I was to, I'm just going to have to move my bottle here. I'm probably getting my head in the light here. You know, this is going quite well, I think. Alright, now I realize that you can't see what's happening up against the splinter rail there but it's going pretty much the same. Now this area right here that I was talking about earlier, I kind of want it to be darkened so that it matches. Oh, I notice it's wicking up the splinter rail right here. Maybe I might have accidentally touched it. I don't know. Now it happens to look a little bit blotchy. That's right in here. That's okay. Give it sort of a weathered look. Okay, now, Mark, I hope you notice I'm shaking it. Okay, should I be moving everything down just a little bit here? Okay. Give it another shake here. I did remember to charge my battery, I hope. I think this thing will run about 30 minutes with the way the settings are right now. All right, this time we'll start over here and we'll go. Hey, this works too. Okay, right now I'm thinking I probably will do the main deck like this. So I pretty much got it, don't I? I can't see the other side of this thing here. Oh, I don't want to get on that. I'm going to be painting that some kind of gray. I think when I do the main deck, I will see if maybe there isn't just a little section I can slip on the macro lens so that you'll be able to watch it flowing. I'm going to try an experiment here. I'm just going to Just very, very gently take this and just drag it across. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Yeah, it kind of evens it out a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe it's just go very, very lightly here. I don't want to make it too light or it'll look blotchy light. Maybe I should leave it alone. It's actually, to the way I'm seeing it, it's looking pretty good. Let's give everything a shake here. And we'll move our deck down a bit. I think you can still see it, right? Now this area in here is going to be painted something else. Don't want it pooling on top of that thing. I'm not being very systematic, am I? Kind of getting a little bit sporadic here with this. I don't know, maybe that's not a good idea. I think I said that before, didn't I? Okay, I think when this dries, it's going to look okay. Okay, is it as good as wooden decking when you give wooden decking a glance straight down? I would say probably not as good as wooden decking, but it's better than the bland look that it had before. Okay, I can't see any place else now where I've missed. It does look a little bit faint right here. Okay, let's put the lid on our bottle here. Oh, a bird just flew into my window again. All right, now here's hoping that I did have everything in focus. How's the light hitting this? Yeah, I think it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be all right. Okay, we did it. I was noticing that there was movement in the surveillance monitor, and as I was watching a couple of birds at the bird feeder, along comes a larger bird. Now it seemed to be of the same species, but it chased off the smaller ones. I guess some sort of bird greed must have set in or something. Anyway, you'd think there'd be enough seeds there for everybody. But then on the other hand, maybe there isn't. Maybe he noticed that the seeds are going down. And yeah, so I went out and replenished it. Now, one thing that really did surprise me is that suet that I put out last fall was just not popular. Yeah, I was under the impression that was going to go down real fast. Now, it could be if I put it on the ground so that the squirrel can get at it, or maybe the insects. Yeah, we can get rid of it, but as far as the birds go, they are not interested. Okay, I'm guessing about an hour has passed here, maybe more, while I was editing out those last few scenes. And I do believe we're dry here. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Anyway, there is sort of a dark area here, but that's the shadow cast from the lens right here. Now, when I was editing out those last few scenes, I noticed that it was a 3.5 diopter, and it looks like it says lady. Does that say lady? That's not how you spell lady. Anyway, if it says lady, there goes my macho image. Anyway, these are the glasses that I used to use inside my welding helmet. The reason I chose these is, I know they look like my Geppetto glasses, but they fit inside my welding helmet. So that's anyway, enough about that. Okay, I think I'm going to set up now and clear coat the main deck. I am actually quite pleased with the way this has come out. I know that some of the planking is lighter than others, but I think that's quite natural on a real deck. So I'm very pleased. Yeah, I'm very pleased. Do I sound pleased? I should, because I am. Okay, let's recompose here, and after we're set up for the to clear coat the main deck, and yeah, I'm so excited here I can hardly think of what to say next. Okay. We are getting ourselves set up to spray here. I think if I have the deck raised up a little bit rather than laying down flat, I might have a better chance of doing a good job. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to be able to spray the deck in today's episode. I'm guessing that we have maybe 2/3 of a jar left. I think that's probably enough. I'm going to give it a try, but not in today's episode. Now, I do have a bunch of other stuff that I wanted to get from the hobby store, which will be open tomorrow. Now, speaking of the hobby store, just a few minutes ago, I shot off an email to them. And I'm going to thunk it down there so that you can see it. Don't go getting your hopes up. There's just a very small chance. I'm just thinking about it, but that's usually the way it goes with me. I'll start thinking about something, and the next thing we know, we have a box opening. Yeah, and I do have the Iowa, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm once again, I think this has dried a little bit more now, and I think that's going to be, yeah, I think that looks a lot better, to my way of thinking anyway. This looks a lot better than this, let's put it that way. Okay, let's move on here. There's something else very important that I have to do here yet, don't I? Let's try not to get grease on our deck. Mmm. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.